Hey guys, just waiting to make sure I'm streaming. Okay, you guys see my cat there? That's Marley. He likes being the center of attention. So naturally, if I'm going to be going live, he thinks that we're all here to see him. So, okay, perfect. So, hey guys, I'll give it a minute as those of you who are just now hopping on the live are able to hop on. So you know what? I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and get my presentation pulled up. Share screen 2. Okay, get that PowerPoint going. Okay. So welcome to the 3-day side hustle challenge. I am so excited to have you guys here today. I know we got a couple people on live. I am presenting through Zoom, so it gets a little tricky and I can't necessarily see your comments, but I do have my phone pulled up. So if you're watching live, go ahead and comment. Let me know where you're coming from. If you're watching on the replay, comment replay below, and also let me know where you're coming from. I always love to see how we have dietitians in this group from all over the country, students, interns, even people outside of the country. So go ahead and let me know where you are joining us from, and we will go ahead and get started with our challenge. So a little bit about the program. So this challenge consists of 3 different days. I'm going to be coming live in the Facebook group Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday at the same time every day. It's 5 o'clock my time. If you are in Mountain time zone, 6 o'clock, 7, 8, you guys could do the math based on where you live. So each day of the challenge is going to be a short video. My goal is 15 to 30 minutes. Today's video will be the shortest. The last day will be the longest, but I try to keep them short to the point. Here's what you need to know. And after each video, there's going to be a really easy assignment. All you have to do, watch the video, respond below the answer to my question at the end of the video, and then you are entered into a chance to win my Beyond the 9 to 5 coaching course. So that course is valued at $349, and essentially you take it and you have your roadmap for your first year of business. It really helps you walk through really what you want to do, what you're good at. And anyways, it's a great course. So that is my incentive to keep you guys going with this challenge. So you could watch these on live or on replay. That is totally fine. Just make sure that you get everything done by this Friday at noon. And even if you wait till Thursday, you could still binge watch them in an hour and a half and still get entered. So the last thing I wanted to mention is that this time around, while doing the challenge, I am offering a VIP ticket. And that really just includes, you can win a chance to get my Beyond the 9 to 5 coaching course. But if you're like, no, I don't want to have a chance of winning, I want the course, you can purchase the VIP ticket for $97. You get access to my course, my coaching workbook, my printable journal. And then also there's going to be a bonus coaching call for VIP members on Friday, July 9th. So if you are interested in that, comment VIP below and I'll make sure to get you the link so that way you can get access to that. So let's talk about our schedule for the week. On day 1, today we will be talking about the mindset to start. Tomorrow we'll be talking about all the possibilities, all the things you could possibly do for a side hustle. And then on day 3, we're going to talk about going all in. So a little bit about me. Oh, I could see you guys coming in live. So Andrea's coming in from Ontario. We have Canada in the house. Lydia is coming from Illinois. I love Illinois. I went to grad school at Southern Illinois University, Carbondale, and go to Chicago quite frequently for volunteering through the academy when we could travel. Excuse me while I drink from my ginormous water bottle. So a little bit about me for those of you who don't know. My name is Katie Dodd and I own a company called Katie Dodd Nutrition LLC. It's made up of 3 different things, dietitian side hustle being one of them, my primary blog, which is the Geriatric Dietitian, and my food blog, High Calorie Recipes. Not to go into too many details about me, but I am a blogger, I'm a speaker, I'm a mentor, and I'm a leader within the field. So that's my intro. Let's go ahead and get going. So Lydia, you're an hour from there. Awesome. Yeah, I love Illinois. So we're going to talk today about the mindset to start. So you guys, I'm going to introduce some concepts and then we're going to wrap back to mindset. But I feel like I've been so obsessed with mindset lately. I just got a free subscription to Audible for Audible is like the audiobook app. I got a free subscription for a month and I'm like, I'm going to keep paying because it's amazing. I've been listening to all these like audiobooks on mindset. So I have even more stuff to add today than what I've added in the past. So I want to talk to you guys about a couple different concepts. The first of one being about financial freedom. So financial freedom is without going too deep into it, it's really a lifestyle where you don't have to worry about money. If you, we all have student loans. Most of us have student loans, especially right when we get out of school. We have all these debts, loans, life costs money, and financial freedom is where you just don't have to worry or stress about money. It's a lifestyle where money is always coming in. And ideally, you are not always trading time for money. Now, I'm going to talk about that concept in just a second, but generally the path to financial freedom is one of two ways. Number one, you could work more hours. You could have your full-time job, get a part-time job, another part-time job. You just work and work and work some overtime, and you could have some money, have financial freedom. The second option is to figure out the time game. And that's what I want to talk to you guys about. So I want you guys to consider this and think about it. And you can comment below for those of you who are Team Live. And I see Whitney's on from Idaho. I can't pronounce that city, but I know exactly where you are because I just had a friend who participated in the Ironman and she survived the heat. So I know where you're at. I should Google. It's probably not that hard to pronounce, but welcome. So I want you guys to ask this question. What is more valuable to you, time or money? And you can comment it below. Another thing to think about is what is replenishable, time or money. The thing about money is that most of us work a regular job. In 2 weeks, we're going to get more money in our account, right? We can go out and work another job. We can get more money. Money is replenishable. Time is not. We cannot get back lost time. We cannot get back time that we have missed with family, doing things we're passionate about. So, I think everyone has something that's more valuable to them, but I would probably argue that time is infinitely more valuable than money because we can't get back time. Right? So because of that, I want to talk to you guys about the concept of time freedom. It's not just about financial freedom, having a lifestyle where you don't have to worry about money. It's also about time freedom because you can have financial freedom by working yourself to the ground, but then what's the point, right? So time freedom is essentially the ability to choose what you want to do with your time. It is where you stop exclusively trading time for money. So what do I mean when I talk about trading time for money? So time for money is what most of us learn from school. It is, I get a job, a full-time job. I work 40 hours a week. I get 40 hours of pay. Maybe you work for yourself and, you get paid when you see clients. If you don't see clients, you don't get paid, right? So that is what I mean by time for money. You are exclusively trading your time, doing work, doing things to get money. So the problem with this and the problem with trying to get financial freedom by just working and working and working is that the more time we put in, the more likely, especially over time, this leads to burnout. So I mentioned in the last slide, I really do believe that time is our greatest asset and not money. But the kicker is that to get more time, we need more money. So what we want is financial and time freedom. How do you achieve this? So how you achieve this is you have to figure out a way to collapse time. And I'm going to talk more about this. I call it passive income. You have to create systems and you have to have passive income streams. So we're going to talk more about this, but I want to give you guys a quick example to show you how I've been able to build some time freedom and financial freedom through my blog. And I want to show you kind of what this looks like with a quick sneak peek. Over the next couple of days, I'll be diving a little deeper into all this stuff, but this is just an example of what's possible. So this is with my blog, The Geriatric Dietitian. I want to direct you guys to this little graphic right here. So this graphic is talking about passive income. I'm going to talk more about passive income tomorrow, but essentially passive income is where you are not trading time for money. You create something ahead of time. It's done. It's out there. Mine are all on the internet. It's live on the internet and people continue to make purchases over and over and over again. And I don't have to trade my time for money. It's completely passive. It doesn't require my time, energy, or efforts at the point that it's done and out there. So through my blog, The Geriatric Dietitian, I am looking at the last, is this the right one? Yes. So this is year to date for 2021, how much money I've made in passive income through the blog. So I have digital goods on the website and those are in the form of patient handouts essentially. And I've made $365. I have some eBooks on my website that I sell. I've made about $1,600. I have ads on the website and made close to $13,000. I also have an affiliates. It's Amazon affiliates, Amazon associates, $71. And I have a course on the website, which has made $582. So I want to paint a picture of this for you guys on what this looks like. In the last 6 months through the blog, I've made over $15,000 in completely passive income. I am not trading my time for money. It's just money that I'm making on autopilot because it is passive income. So if we look at the median RD salary, we know that on average, dietitians are making around $32.97 per hour. And that comes from the Comp and Benefits survey for dietitians. So I did the math on how many hours would I have had to work this year to make that much money for my family. So I would have had to work 569 hours this year. That would have been about 78 hours per month and roughly 20 hours per week to make the same amount of money that I made through my blog through passive income. So that is 20 hours away from my family, 20 hours away from my hobbies and all the things that I love. So I love passive income, and I'm going to talk about this more during our challenge because passive income offers us time freedom. It offers us financial freedom. And the last freedom I didn't talk about is clinical freedom. And what I mean by that is doing what you want to do. Most of us, when we work a traditional job, we have to follow the rules, right? Each organization has its own set of policies, rules, how we document, how we treat, how we do all the things. And we typically have to follow those rules and those pieces of business. When we are doing our own thing, we get to choose what we want to do, and we don't necessarily have to do the things that we don't love. So I love having that flexibility of freedom in my own blog and my own brand to do what I want to do. So let me go to my next slide, but I just wanted to give you guys that quick example. So coming back to the concept of money, I want to tell you guys up front that it is okay to make more money. We know that dietitians in general are underpaid. And I think because of that, and because of a lot of reasons, dietitians have a lot of money mindset issues. We sometimes struggle with the idea of, I want to make more money. I want to have a side hustle so I can make more money. Sometimes we feel like we have to have an excuse or a reason to say why we want that money. But I just want to give you guys permission. It is perfectly okay to make money, and, no excuses needed. Follow your dreams, follow your heart. And honestly, when you follow your dreams and your heart, money typically comes. So time and financial freedom, you guys, those are such good things. These are things that we should be pursuing. These are things that we should be doing. And the thing about money, the more money you get, the more fun things that you can do. I will tell you, having money through my website, I have been able to pay other dietitians to write for me, to post on my website. And I remember the first time I had a freelance writing gig and I got paid to write, I was so excited. I remember telling my husband, I got paid $1 to write that sentence. So it's so fun for me to be able to offer that opportunity to other dietitians to write on my blog and get paid for it. I'm in the process of starting a scholarship for dietitians who want to pursue geriatric nutrition. I planned to launch it last month, but life happened. So I'm going to be pushing that back to fall, but that is something I'm going to be doing. And then I also have fun giveaways oftentimes in this group where I'm able to give away fun things, give away money. And those are things that I'm able to do with some of the extra income that I'm making. And I always go back to this concept that one of my business coaches told me. He said that good people do good things with money. So if you are one of those people who struggle with money mindset issues, you're like, oh, I feel guilty about making more money. Don't. Good people do good things with money. It will give you time, financial freedom, and the ability to do different things that you want to do, giving back to whatever is important to you. Oh, and I have a PS here. I just wanted to mention that you can make money online without seeing patients. So coming back to mindset, because I wanted to introduce those concepts to you before we talked about mindset, because mindset is so important. One of my business coaches, Javier, says that with everything, it's 80% psychology, 20% mechanics. And what does that mean? The 80% psychology is the belief that you can do something, where the 20% mechanics is doing the thing. So thinking of maybe you're a private practice dietitian, 20% of that is being a dietitian, right? 80% is the belief that you can do this, you can make impact, you can see patients, all the things. But I will tell you, the longer I've been in business, the more I believe that mindset is everything. I almost believe it's 99% mindset, 1% work. I spelled work on purpose like that. I was singing a song when I wrote that. So I want to encourage each and every one of you to work on removing your limiting beliefs. So I would encourage you, I'm not going to ask you to write it below, but but I just want you to think about, what are your limiting beliefs? And by limiting beliefs, I mean, what are those things that you think you can't do? Like, oh my gosh, I can't do that. I won't have success with this. There's no way I could possibly do that. I think that we all have limiting beliefs, either conscious, like we're aware of them, but sometimes they're unconscious. Sometimes we never even pursue dreams, or we don't even want to speak them out loud, because on this unconscious level, we don't even think that's possible. So I think taking time to reflect on, what are your limiting beliefs? What are those things that you don't think you can do? What are those things that hold you back? What are those doubts that you have in your mind? If you take time to reflect on that, then you can begin to work through those and break through those. So I have been reading a book called, I've been listening to a book on audiobook called Outwitting the Devil. It's amazing. I mean, kind of a weird name, but it's so amazing. It's a book that was written like 100 years ago, totally relevant today. It was just released less than 10 years ago, but super good. So Napoleon Hill wrote the book, and he shares, your only limitation is the one which you set up in your own mind. So if we figure out what are those limitations we set up in our own mind, then we can get rid of them and we can break through them. So I feel like the statement's kind of cheesy, but I really believe it to be true. What you believe, you will achieve. And that is true whether it is positive or negative. If you believe good things are going to happen, if you believe after this challenge, I'm going to start my side hustle, I'm going to put in the work, I'm going to have success, I promise you, you will. You will have to put in the work. You may have to pivot. You may have to fail. You may have to, do workarounds, but you will have success if you believe you will. Flip side, if you believe that negative things are going to happen, you believe, man, this isn't going to work. I'm not going to find any gigs. No one's going to hire me. I see it work for them, but it just can't work for me. I'm just not good at this. I don't know enough. I'm not the expert. Then if that's what you believe, that's probably what you will achieve too. So I can't stress how important mindset is. That's why I'm starting this challenge, completely addressing mindset with you guys, because this is going to be one of the most important things for you walking away from this challenge. The best thing that you could do now is work on your mindset, because it will determine your success. So there's a little picture of the Outwitting the Devil book I'm reading, and another quote. And I was actually driving to the lake. Was it Friday? Because we were camping. I live in Southern Oregon, and there's this beautiful lake called Lake of the Woods. And I was driving up there, and I was listening to Outwitting the Devil on Audible. And they said this quote, be careful what you set upon your heart, for it will surely come true. And when they said that, I was like, oh, I actually had to pull over my car, bust out my phone, and write that down on my phone. So I'm like, that is so good. Be careful what you set upon your heart, because it will surely come true. And that comes back to mindset. Are you going to put on your heart, I am going to start the side hustle and I'm going to crush it? Or are you setting upon your heart, this probably isn't going to work. I'll start, but I'll give it a week. It's really important that what we put on our heart is the right thing, because my cat, you guys can't see my cat Marley, but he is like all up in my grill. Can't even see the screen. Okay. So my last thing about mindset, I wanted to have a little quote from Mary Poppins. Anything is possible, even the impossible. These are two books up here on the screen that I have been listening to lately. I just finished Mindset by Carol Dweck. Amazing. It talks all about having a growth mindset. And then Outwitting the Devil, I'm about 75% of the way through. It's amazing. So let's talk about expectation. So going forward with this challenge, I want you all to expect greatness. So the concept of expectation comes from Myron Golden. He's a really amazing business coach out there. And he talks about expectation in the terms of the outcomes. Are we expecting the outcome of what we're going to do to be good or bad? Undesirable or desirable? So if you are expecting the outcome of something you're going to do is going to be undesirable, that's going to create in you anxious apprehension. You're going to be nervous. You're going to be worried, like, oh, this is going to flop. It's not going to be good. So you're going to have that anxiety. It's going to hold you back from starting. You're going to get in your own way when it comes to having success. Where if you are expecting the outcome to be desirable, you're like, man, I'm going to do this, I'm going to crush it, then you'll have joyful expectation. You'll be excited. So I want each and every one of you to move forward expecting greatness with this challenge. So I do want to take a second to talk about the expectation of undesirable outcomes. And sometimes that's not conscious, sometimes it's unconscious, but that anxious apprehension is really bad, because anxiety stops us in our tracks. It leads us to waste present energy on future outcomes that may or may not come true. So I want to address where that anxiety typically comes from. So you guys might guess this, but it often comes from perfectionism. So I know a lot of dietitians identify with being perfectionists. I know I did for the longest time. I tend to refer to myself as a recovering perfectionist, but I used to wear perfectionism as a badge of honor. I was so proud of it because I was so detail oriented. I was always like over the top. Everything was just right. Everything was perfect. I was so proud of that. But over the years, I've started learning that perfectionism is actually a weakness because it leads to paralysis. We get so wrapped up in being perfect, having all of our ducks in a row, everything just right, being the expert on everything, that we just don't move forward because it's not the right time. And then it never becomes the right time. So perfectionism is a weakness which leads to paralysis. So if you identify with being a perfectionist, comment perfectionism below, like let me know, because I think so many dietitians struggle with this. And if you're recovering like me, let me know that too. So I want to tell you guys all that moving forward in this challenge, you don't have to be perfect. You don't have to know everything. And I want each and every one of you to actually strive for imperfection, because done is better than perfect. So I have a new badge of honor for each and every one of you to put on. You can take off your perfectionist badge of honor and put on the imperfectly perfect badge of honor and really commit to moving forward with imperfect action, because done is better than perfect. So coming back as we wrap up, mindset to start as we move into this challenge, I want to acknowledge that dietitian side hustlers have less time. Now, I know many of you have full-time jobs, part-time jobs, full-time and part-time jobs, kiddos, commitments, all kinds of things that you don't have a lot of time. So I want to encourage you guys that the focus is not to be busy. It's not to have a big old long to-do list of, oh, I'm doing stuff, but to be focused. So to do this, we need to have a concrete idea of what your future is going to look like. That we call that a path. Like, what's the path I'm going to take to get to where I want to go? You have to be willing to forego perfection. You have to let go of anxiety and ego. We're not going to talk about ego, but oftentimes anxiety, perfectionism, it's kind of rooted in ego. You have to be willing to take imperfect action, and you have to pursue your dreams relentlessly. So you guys, I am so excited to get started this week. I hope that this lesson today was helpful to you guys. I hope that it was inspirational. It maybe gave you some different things to consider, and that you are able to really address mindset and be like, okay, I'm in it. I'm committing to this challenge. I'm going to go all in. I'm going to make sure my mindset is right so that I will have success in completing the challenge. But this challenge is only the start. It's meant to help you start your side hustle. So it's just the start. So you really have to have the right mindset moving forward. So your assignment for today, guys, I want you to comment below. What is the greatest barrier that you face to starting a side hustle? Okay. So let's see here. So Whitney, recovering perfectionist, working on it daily. Me too. I actually have a podcast episode coming out tomorrow. If you guys listen to the Dietitian Side Hustle podcast, it's about being imperfectly perfect. And I actually share how just last week or the week before, how I was struggling with perfectionism, and, you know, even though I'm recovering, but anyways, I'm excited for it to come out. So that's coming out tomorrow at 4 a.m. So go ahead and comment below, what is your greatest barrier to starting a side hustle? And I will send, for those of you who are on my email list, I'm going to send you an email with the replay and some information about, what's coming tomorrow. So if you are not on my email list, just comment email below and I'll make sure I get you on it. So that way you get those emails. And be sure to join us same time, same place tomorrow. If you are catching the replay, again, I'm so glad to have you here. The great thing about this challenge is you can watch all the videos. Just make sure you comment on all of them before Friday at noon to be entered into our drawing. And thanks for joining me, guys. So comment below. What's your greatest barrier to starting a side hustle? Bye, guys.